Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah?
Yes, I am a pirate.
You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. When you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into the emergency pod. Should I stay or should I go? And we're going to talk about that. Who's going? Who's staying? What the heck is going on? Well, I tell you what, it's been a shocking day, but guess what? That is the world we live in right now. And let's bring in Kyle from LaGrange Barber. What's up, dude?
Hey, dude. Sorry, I was responding to a message. What a crappy day to be a pirate. I'm sure we're not the Lone Rangers, so to speak. Here, I'm sure there's other so-called Group of 5, Group of 6 schools going through the same crap right now. I'm really sick of this. I don't know how most schools at the Group of 5 level, how you continue with this like this, how you. I'll say this on the quarterback situation, but unfortunately we lost our coordinators too. Tulane and North Texas both lost their quarterbacks. And they both played for the conference championship this year. So the key is to get the right people to replace them. As far as next year goes, we got money to spend. We're rumored to have around 12 to 14 million. And
we're number 3. Woo!
So, and we need to build on that. We need to be number 1 in the American. But the point is, we have money to spend at the Group of 5 level. If you're number 3, the American, then you're going to be at the top part of the Group of 5. So, we can make some things happen. Guys like Yannick Smith and Connor leaving, I don't understand. I really, I'm sure we made them good offers. I don't know. Connor may be going. Are they all going with JDB? Are they all going to Ole Miss?
I think, yeah.
Who knows? But we need. The short term is to me is the more irritating part is the bowl game. You don't really feel good about the bowl game at all now. Without your quarterback, without your best tight end, without one of your best receivers, certainly not your best receiver, I think. Anthony Smith and Brock Spalding are both better than Yannick. It's just, we need some good news. We need to hear an offensive coordinator hire that we all get excited about. What I'd love to see, and I'll shut up and let somebody else talk, but what I would love to see in the perfect world, I would target an FCS or a Conference USA offensive coordinator, maybe like the OC at Kennesaw or the OC at Mercer, that can bring their quarterback with them. And I don't know, maybe that quarterback's going to Toledo already. I'm not sure. For the one from Mercer, their head coach got hired at Toledo, for people that know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see us hire a coordinator that can bring his quarterback with him in a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world, so we'll see how this works out. At least we have some money to spend, but we need some good news fast.
I'm going to go to Johnny Robertson. I forgot him last night. So, JR, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Yeah, it's a tough Monday for sure. But, I probably like Yannick Smith more than the rest of y'all do, just because.
I like him.
Yeah, I do feel like that's going to be a hit. Javante Connor, oh, boy. If anyone goes to Ole Miss, I feel like he's the only candidate that could be going to Ole Miss because he's special. he started it out early. He's very good all season, and he's just a freak, man. That guy there's not many of him out there. And we've had some great tight ends recently. I feel like he's probably right up there with any of them.
I think JR. I think he was actually underutilized in the passing game. I think I'm with you.
Yeah, he was. Really but I'm saying talent-wise,
yes,
he had the abilities that you can go back to whoever. I just don't. I don't remember anyone quite having his skill set that he has: size, speed, and hands, route running, blocking, all of it. He had it all. Anyhow, so but as far as Caton goes, we all knew. I mean, we said it. That's the domino. If he falls, the key to keeping the offensive core together is to keep Caton. And I truly believe that East Carolina did everything they could. I don't blame them in the least. I feel like they did everything they could to keep him. There's a point, though, that you reach where it's just not tenable. And I feel like that point was probably reached, or he just wants to play somewhere. Maybe he's going to Indiana and he sees that they had a Heisman Trophy winner and a possible first-round NFL draft pick, and he's like, I want to go to Indiana. That's just pure hyperbole on my part. But yeah, it's a tough Monday for sure. But hey, every one of these guys is replaceable, every one of them, and we have the money to replace them. Like Kyle said, that's not going to help us at all in this bowl game. It's really not. I mean, that's going to be that's potentially a very ugly matchup. But in closing, I'll just say that we're going to lose Caton. He had 1 year of eligibility left. Maybe Kyle's right. We get an FCS OC and quarterback, and that guy's got 2 or 3 years of eligibility left. He won't be Caton to start with, but Caton wasn't Caton to start with. So let's just see what happens. I'm not totally discouraged for the future. I'm just really discouraged for this bowl game, and I wanted to beat Pitt really bad. Matt?
As we bring in Matt Semenza now, former linebacker in the Steve Logan era. And Matt, I know like we talked about, everything's a shock, but Matt, you are our transfer portal expert and our expert on the show. And I tell you what I was thinking today, like Johnny, we've got to accept that this is basically the pro version, the college version of the pros as far as free agency. And we're going to be building a team every single year.
It's really not, though, Dave. It's really not, because in the pros, you have contracts. You don't have guys that just decide to leave a week before the Super Bowl or the playoff games.
I understand that, but I'm just saying that that's why I said version is not the same. But as far as not having a guy 4 years, that's part of it. Matt, what were your thoughts today?
Well, what's up, guys? I mean, obviously a tough day for, Pirate Nation. Really tough day for Blake Harrell, who is a guy that he has done a tremendous job since he's been hired as the head coach. And, this is a huge task for him now to essentially rebuild a team is the way it looks like it's going. It was just 2 weeks ago that we were riding high coming off that FAU game where we just blew them out down in Boca. And, at that point, you're thinking, geez, if we could just keep this core together for just a few months, get them through the transfer portal, keep them together, we have a real shot, like a legitimate shot at representing the G5 next season. And I don't think that was really far-fetched to say at all. Now, here you are, 2, maybe 3 weeks later, and, look, JDB is gone. I always felt like he was a 2-year rental. I was convinced he would be gone after this season. Didn't love the way it played out in terms of him not being able to coach the bowl game, but those things happen. So I can live with that. I'm fine with that. I can live with Connor leaving. I could even live with Yannick leaving. I said to you guys, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago that I was more concerned with keeping Brock Spalding than I was Yannick. So I can live with all that. But look, losing Hauser is a tough pill to swallow. I mean, this is a guy who, by all accounts, really enjoyed his time in Greenville, really enjoyed playing for Blake Harrell, had a lot of success here. We thought there was a legitimate chance to keep him. But here we are. Looks like we're going to be outbid once again. And, to JR's point, I don't blame ECU either. I think we put our best foot forward here. By all accounts, we offered him over $1 million to
1.2, 1.3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is a legitimate offer where you put your best foot forward, and we couldn't keep him. At the end of the day, it wasn't enough, and that's really disappointing. That is really disappointing. So, look, I don't envy the position Blake is in right now. We're not even talking about the fact that he needs to hire a defensive coordinator. I didn't even mention that in my opener there, but look, hey, this is now looking like a massive rebuild. So that's a tough pill to swallow, guys. And I'll tell you, where is the NCAA? In my opinion, the only way you can rectify this situation, you have got to go back to the way it was, not even 10 years ago, where if a player decides to leave and hit the portal, yes, they have to sit out a full year. Guys, that would really put a halt to all this. Especially guys like Yannick and, some of these guys that
Hauser,
Hauser even. I mean, these guys are getting pulled in a million different directions now. And even by these agents who are raping them over the coals in some situations. The NCAA needs to wake up. They need to have a pulse again, and they need to get control of this thing, because that's all I'll say for my opener. We'll cover everything, but the NCAA has got to wake up, guys.
Matt, I literally had just maybe an hour ago typed that on Facebook on a guy's message, a fellow Pirate. He was talking about the portal situation. I literally said the easy fix. The lawsuit was about money, about paying players. I don't know, and this would be a good topic for David Glenn, but I don't know as far as that lawsuit and the legality why we couldn't go back to having the 1 year rule. Maybe you put the caveat on it, unless your head coach leaves, that you got to sit out a year. That's going to slow a lot of this down. You still are going to have money pulling people, but I'll tell you this: Caden Hauser wouldn't have turned down $1 million, and you probably wouldn't even had to offer him $1 million. You could have probably got him for $700,000 or $800,000 if he had to sit out next year. I don't know if he's a graduate student. Does he graduated?
I think he does in December, right? Or isn't he graduating coming up?
Okay, well, if that's the case, that would not have applied to him anyway, because as a grad student, you would have been able to transfer. But it would certainly slow a lot of this crap down, because before you go take that, if you're at an East Carolina and you're let's say you're Connor, for example, and let's say you're going to make 100, 150, 200 grand next year. If they graduate, so Connor, let's say you're making 150, 200 grand next year. You're going to think long and hard before you take that 600 grand offer from Ole Miss, when you're going to have to be there the next 3 years. You're going to have to be damn sure that's where you want to go, because you're going to have to sit out next year, and then you're going to be locked in there for the rest of your career, pretty much. So if they would bring that having to sit out 1 year rule back, it would fix a lot of this. It wouldn't completely fix it, but it would significantly slow down this crap.
Kyle, let me throw this one at you, just to take your point a step further here. When a guy, and I'll throw this to all you guys, if you do have to sit out for 1 year, does that count against your eligibility?
Yes. You have a redshirt year, and if you haven't used that redshirt year, then no. But if you've used your redshirt year, then yeah, it counts against your eligibility. I mean, that's how it always was in the past. Now maybe they tweak it to make it a little bit more friendly for the players, where it doesn't count against your eligibility. But it used to. You know what? I'd be fine with it either way, Matt. Even if it didn't count against your eligibility, it would still slow this crap down.
I have a suggestion. Okay, so I like that rule, but if you remember, the rule actually was you had to sit out a year unless you transferred down to FCS. Then you didn't have to sit out at all. You were eligible immediately. So why don't we make the rule, if you want to come from the Power Four
that's not going to happen,
to the Group of Five, You don't have to sit out. You can play immediately. Boy, that would be but wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, it would be, but that's not going to happen. I don't even. You know what, Jr. That would be great, but I'm trying to be what they could realistically do that would benefit everybody, and I think that would be the end. At some point in time, the fans have to matter again. Everybody's worried about the players and the coaches and everyone. What about us assholes that are paying the money? What about us people that are buying the tickets and giving to NIL and giving to revenue sharing and all of us that back not just East Carolina, at every college in America? At some point, you're going to have donor fatigue. You're going to have burnout, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Johnny. You'll identify with this, Dave too. And college football is going to NASCAR themselves. They're going to NASCAR themselves. NASCAR did it by alienating their core fan base and going to bigger markets and different markets. College football is going to do it by changing who they are too much. I think you're already seeing it. It is first going to hit at the group of 5 level. And I really think if college football doesn't do something to calm this crap down, like me and Matt are talking about, bringing back the 1-year transfer rule, you have to sit out if you transfer, even if it doesn't count against your eligibility. Something's got to slow this crap down. I'm telling you, it's getting to the point of absurdity. Again, particularly at the so-called group of 5 or group of 6 level, it's to the point where I'm just ready to say break away. Just the power 2 and the so-called other power 2, which we know is the power 4. I'm ready for them to just go over there and let the rest of us play college football.
What about? I love the sit out a year rule, but what about multi-year control? Like, for instance, okay, you're going to sign a sophomore quarterback or any player, any position. You can negotiate with him for a 2-year deal where he cannot.
You can do that now. You can do that. I don't ever hear of it.
Duke's
quarterback has a 2-year deal worth $4 million.
Oh, Mensa does. Okay.
Yeah. What if you made that mandatory across the board?
Yeah. I mean you should have the option.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that. I mean,
I don't think you can make it mandatory. But I do think, what in the world was that? I do think you can, I do think you can bring back the sitting out a year rule. I don't see how that would violate, again, I'd love to have what was in that lawsuit that made all this crap happen. This would be a good DG question, but I don't see why you couldn't bring back that rule.
I feel like
okay. Hey, Dave, my question would be, if that is a rule currently, then why would we not lock down Caton when we didn't have to outbid? Maybe we outbid somebody for him, but not many people. So once we signed him originally, I mean, I'm sure that we didn't pay a ton for him. Why could we have not have had
he might not have wanted to sign it. He might not have wanted to sign a 2-year deal, and something like that. If we'd have had him sign at what we signed him for last year, at the end of last year, we decided a 2-year deal with him. It would have probably been for a couple $100,000. Somebody would have just bought that out.
Yeah, so to me, the schools need to be protected. The players, they need to get paid. I understand that, but yeah, the schools need to be protected at some point.
Not just the schools, the fans.
You're right, Kyle.
Well, I keep it's just to the point where everybody talks about the damn players and it's all I didn't listen to the Gilbert interview today because I didn't want to fall asleep at work. So I heard that he said that the players are employees. Well, then treat them like employees. I look. Go back and, except for apparently a comment I made in jest about Rajay Harris, who I love, and I'm sorry of all people I hurt his feelings. Me and Rajay are cool now, but very seldom have I ever called out players. And go check my track record on Pirate Radio and the podcast. I'll call out coaches, administration. Love calling out administration. Very seldom do I call out players. That shit's going to change. And this whole, all these people wishing Caton Hauser the best. Look, I wish him no ill will. I hope he, I'm not hoping he get hit by a train or anything like that. but I don't give a crap what he does. I don't give a crap if he wins the Heisman Trophy next year or he goes 0-12. He's no longer a Pirate. I don't give a crap what he does. And where are these kids going to go? Somebody's got feedback, by the way. Where are these kids going to go, after they're done playing? Is Caton Hauser a Pirate? Is he a Spartan? Is he a whatever the hell he's going to be next year? Where do they go? Do we put Caton Hauser into the ECU Hall of Fame in a few years?
No.
I mean, it's just I don't know how this works going forward.
I think
Matt
we're done with
Semenza.
I think we're done with him.
Yeah, Matt Semenza knows, and I'm just speaking as a whole. Caton's the example, Matt. Matt Semenza knows where he's coming back to. He's a Pirate.
Yeah.
What in the world am I hearing? Is that your daughter?
Now it is.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get exactly what you're saying. I agree. First of all, I agree with everything you just said. To your point, I don't think once these guys leave, as far as I'm concerned, we're done with them. I don't think they should be welcomed back. You look at Caton. I'm sure he's a great guy. I have no doubt, right? But hey, we gave him an opportunity here.
He didn't have a Michigan State. Exactly.
Gave him a great opportunity. Now, look, he earned it. He played his ass off. I'm not taking that away from him. But I'm just like you. I am an ECU Pirate first, way before any of these players that just come and go as they please. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I could care less what happens. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean I'm certainly not going to go out and cheer for him at his next
No, exactly. And I don't understand people's mentality, that are all like, we wish you nothing but the best, Caton. Thank you, Caton, for everything you did. Bitch, what about what we did for you? We gave you the opportunity to come play in this offense to show off your skills so you could go become a multimillionaire. You ought to give some of that NIL money back to ECU to help us pay the next quarterback, because if it wasn't for ECU and the opportunity that Blake Harrell and John David Baker gave you, you'd still be riding the pine, baby boy. So at what point, do these players feel like they owe us something?
Yeah, the players have way too much control now. And, if you go back to the root cause of this thing, the coaches started all of this. I mean, college football coaches.
Lane Kiffin.
And I highlight football because I don't think that it's the case so much. Definitely not in college baseball as much, or just some of the other sports in general. But college football coaches they have made it clear to their players that they are all about the money. So you look at a John David Baker, right? For example, he was, like we said, he's probably always a 2-year rental here. The players knew that too. They're not dummies. They know what's going on. And when they see that their coach is looking for other opportunities, guess who's going to look? I mean, the players, they're going to follow suit. So, I agree with you. I don't let these guys off the hook by any stretch. I think a lot of them are getting bad advice from shady agents.
We were talking about that.
I mean, look, this could backfire on Hauser.
Yep.
This could backfire. He's in a great. Let's just look at the situation he had here. He was going to make over $1 million for 1 year. He had a house to live in for free. He was in a situation where he was guaranteed the starting quarterback. He had a high-profile game at Alabama next year, and he had a team that was on the verge of representing the G5. So this guy had a great situation. He might live to regret that, honestly. And you look at a guy like Yannick, all right? Look, Yannick was not great this year. Yannick slowed down in the last 12 months. He was not a polished route runner. He couldn't beat anybody deep. What did he have? 43 receptions. We're not talking about Mike. Yeah. We're not talking about Mike Evans here. So, look, all I'm saying is these guys could very well live to regret this move.
Yeah, and look, you just let's talk about the offer that we made to Caton. Reportedly $1.2 million. Now he's going to go. I'm assuming if he's entering the portal, unless he just wants to play in that Power 4. Because, by the way, I'd like to take somebody from ESPN who came up with that term Power 4 I like, and I don't know if he still uses it, but Tim Brando called them the Autonomous Four, initially the Autonomous Five. But that whole Power Four group of term, I'd like to take somebody that came up with that term and take a ball peen hammer and beat them to it. Just anyway. It's at what point, you look at John David Baker went to Ole Miss for $1 million. Caden Hauser was going to make more than that here. At what point? How can these? You're not. And I know that happens in the NFL where the players make more than the coaches, by and large. But how do you keep control of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old players when they're making more than their coaches? How significantly more in some cases? How do you? I think we're creating. For a lot of these kids also. How are they managing their money? How many of these kids, not Hauser probably, but how many of these kids are going to be millionaires now, then not do jack all of nothing in the league and go from being a millionaire at 21 years old to being broke by the time they're 31? That tells yet to be told because we're still in the infancy of this. But I guarantee you're going to have ESPN 30 for 30s out the wazoo if they're still doing them a decade from now. About guys that were millionaires in colleges who are working at the Target, when they're 31 years old. I guarantee you that's coming. You want to bet me on it?
I'll agree with you on it.
Good. You ain't got to bet. You agree. It's a smart move every time, Matt, to agree with me.
Captain Ben Stolen said everyone's an expert at telling other people what to do with their financial
Absolutely. And here's the thing too.
Everyone's an expert of telling other people what to do with their financial lives.
Oh, maybe so,
well,
maybe not. But I'll tell you what.
What are we supposed to do?
My loyalty is to East Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah. My loyalty is to East Carolina, and that's it. That's the way it's always going to be.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, Richard asked me a question, Dave. Richard Osborne.
Yeah.
He asked me a question about Chaston Ditta. Yeah, in high school, he threw for 4,300 yards and had He had exactly 47 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and he ran for 673 yards and 122 carries and had 12 rushing touchdowns. So, a true dual threat in high school, very efficient. Let's see if it translates. I know he's going to get some action in the bowl game, regardless of what Mike Wright does. Chaston Ditta is definitely going to get some snaps. So,
speaking of which,
Ditta's not going to be the quarterback next year.
No, we don't know who the quarterback. The quarterback's not on the roster yet.
Unless he does get the start in the bowl game, go lights it up, and beats Pitt. Otherwise,
no.
I don't.
He's only going to be a redshirt freshman next year. So, I mean, I don't think no.
Well, my point was, it wasn't so much to you, JR. My point was there were some people on Hoist the Colors that were saying start Ditta in the bowl game. Your goal is to win the bowl game, and you do what you do. For the players, those seniors, you give them the best chance to win, and that's going to be with Mike Wright. Thank you.
Yeah, Norman Quick, of course, from the 1983 team. If there's a guy that has a right to say anything, just like Matt, it would be him. The problem is players are getting contacted before they enter the portal, which is supposed to be illegal.
Exactly, tampering.
But NCAA not doing anything about it, Matt.
That's because they're talking to the high school coaches and parents, and they're skirting it. That's what they're doing.
I'll tell you, somebody, what we should do as donors, I wonder if we could file a class action lawsuit against the NCAA. For not enforcing tampering. I wonder if the Pirate Club, if a group of fans could get together and file that they're not enforcing tampering rules, that we're spending our money and we're not getting return on investment because of tampering. I wonder if we could sue the NCAA. We meaning fans.
Of course, you
can. Because it's our money. It is our money. People talking about to homie who said everybody's an expert about giving people financial advice on what to do with their money. It's our money. It's our money.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Kyle, I think that might have a good chance of winning too, because the NCAA in court cases doesn't have a very good record there.
Let let me tell you how bad the NCAA is, Matt. Hey, Matt, do you remember this? So the Supreme Court, and I'm not getting into politics, has been divided, as we all know. But that case was a 9-0 decision. 9-0, 9-0. They got their butts kicked in the Supreme Court over NIL because instead of embracing NIL, instead of being proactive, being ahead of the game, no, they want to be reactive and hold on and hold on.
No, if they would have never let it go on the court, if they would have put something in place reasonable,
right,
this nonsense would have never happened. And you know, I think I thought that rev share would calm the Wild West down some, and maybe it still will. You know, I do think they're slowly reeling things in. We've shortened the portal period. We've gone to a rev share model over what we had initially with the Wild West NIL model. There's still NIL. It's got to go through clearinghouses, yada yada. But we need something to really calm this down. And I know we're chewing our food twice, repeating ourselves. But as me and Matt said earlier in the show, if you go back to having to sit out a year to transfer, that's not keeping anybody from getting paid. That's not limiting the amount of times you can transfer. I don't even care if it doesn't count against your eligibility. Just make them have to sit out a year, and that's gonna really make kids think before they just jump.
Absolutely, you know. And really quick, thanks to Norm Quick for chiming in. You know, look, that '83 team, those guys had a great run, and like I can only imagine what they're thinking tonight. You know, just I know how I think as a former player, being so loyal to East Carolina, but hopefully we can get more of the 83 guys to chime in more often. I'd love to hear their thoughts on this too. But look, I think there are some unintended ramifications that we're going to see from all this too. You're going to start to see the bowl games are going to be completely gone. If this if this continues at this rate, within 3 or 4 years, there aren't going to be any bowl games. And I'll tell you why. Why would you want to sponsor, if you're a business, a corporation, why would you want to sponsor a bowl game?
Put Kenny Meyer's comment up there to what Matt is saying.
Why would you want to sponsor a bowl game when half the players opt out? Okay. You're not going to have great crowds for these games. I mean, look, and this is not a knock on ECU fans at all. It's not a knock. I understand if people don't want to go to the bowl game, but there's a large portion of our fan base that was going to go to this game that will not go anymore because of what's just happened, what's just transpired in the last few weeks.
And I'm one of them, Matt. I may not go, and I bought tickets. I've got 2 tickets and a parking pass, and I'm just.
And I don't fault you for it at all. I don't fault you because money is not unlimited, and we have decisions now. The way this is now,
I may end up day tripping it, Matt. I may end up day tripping it. But at this point, going to spend money on a hotel, you know, and dinner and everything else you do when you go on a bowl trip, I've just lost all excitement for it. Now, maybe something will get me excited in between now and then. I haven't canceled my hotel yet, but it's really like Kenny said, and like I said earlier, it's really going to kill the fan base at the Group of 5 level. Fans are going to start getting fatigued, donor fatigue, fan fatigue, however you want to say it, with all the transfers and the money that's being asked to be spent. And the first place it's going to be felt is at the so-called Group of 5 level. You know, I think the one thing that may help with this is if, you know, with all this turnover, if we hit a home run with the OC hire, hit a home run with the DC hire, and do really well in the portal, particularly on the opposite side of the ball. But then at the end of next year, we're going to have to do the same crap again. I think you got to put – I think to save postseason, even if you took bowls away and you had a 16 or 24 team Power 5 and a 16 or 24 team Group of 5 playoff. Let's say you had a 16 to 24 team Power 4 playoff and then a 16 to 24 team Group of 6 playoff. I think you have to, and it's annoying, but I think the only way to save the postseason, I think you got to move portal post spring. I think that's going to be your only portal date, and it's going to suck because you're going to have guys that you think you're going to have in spring, and then you're not going to have them after spring practice. but I think it's really the only way to save the postseason. You're going to have to move that portal date to post spring, and it'd be the only date.
No doubt. And for me, Kyle, you talked about a point, and I think this might be the speaking of saving graces, I liked your idea. Let's combine the American and the Pac-12 and have a super league, because I think that way, to have half the teams in the West, half the teams in the East, you have one trip that you have to make West, or if you're a Western team, one trip that you have to make East, to be able to save the on cost. And I think that's the way that we, being the American and the Pac-12 that's trying to rebuild, if we combine forces, man, oh man, we could. Well,
you don't even have to do it in football. You wouldn't even have to do divisions. If you really wouldn't. I like divisions, but if you wanted to make sure you had your two highest ranked teams playing, although I would question you could, huh?
I was just doing that for travel costs.
I don't think you're really. I think in a league that big, in the 16-team Pac-12 we're talking about, you could do that, and you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to have the two best teams playing for the championship anyway. But if you didn't want to do divisions and you merge the two leagues to try to form a new power league and get more money from TV, et cetera, you don't have to worry about travel costs in football that much. You only play 12 games in conference. You're going to play a 9-game conference schedule in this scenario, so you're going to play 1 year 5 at home, 1 year 4 on the road, and then vice versa next year 4 at home, 5 on the road in conference play. The divisions would need to come into play if that Super League was formed for basketball and Olympic sports. That's where you would have to do your divisions. Divisions for football, I would like it better, but it wouldn't be unnecessary.
Philip says this isn't just a football issue. Look what's going on with basketball. How in the bloop can ECU compete in basketball? Well, Philip, we talked about this ad nauseum. The bottom line is
it doesn't take that many players in basketball. We have money right now in basketball.
It's just poor choices, poor spending choices. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, we have a major donor that's really helped with basketball, and we had a decent budget. It's only you only need a couple of really good guys to really change your basketball program.
Love it. How about that? JMU to cripple the Sun Belt and then merge with Pac-12. I agree. Like I personally think, I'm not usually for mergers, but I think that's the way you want to talk about making.
I'm not for a full merger. What I would like.
Yeah, that would put the conference at like 22 teams.
No, I'm talking
what I would like
best teams.
What I would like to do. You keep your 8 and your Pac-12 how they are, and then take East Carolina, South Florida, Memphis, UTSA, North Texas. God, who would the other 3 be?
Well, what are the academies?
Yeah, no. Army, Navy. I would say football only. Put them in there, too. And then grab Air Force from the Mountain West. Actually, and there's your 8.
There you go. Justin said he saw on Twitter, Liberty is expected to spend $20 million for revenue share next year.
Well, you know what? Liberty's got a lot of money, and they're hurting. They haven't been getting a lot of people wanting to transfer in there because you're not allowed to touch a girl. So they're going to have to spend some money to get guys to want to stay there and put up with their ridiculous rules.
Hey,
Dave, what was that last comment you put up there? You put it up too quick. I didn't get to read it about basketball.
Oh, crap. Hold
on. Okay.
Fornetti needs to set up a I agree. American Pac-12 challenge. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Great.
That'd be awesome.
Great. And that would be better than some of the cupcake games we're supposed to win. Anyway, you could put a game or two. It will at least be one game there.
Yeah.
How about this? This is for Semenza. You fruitcakes are worried about this.
That's definitely not for me.
You had one coach who didn't want any transfers in order to save his job. He was forced to start the process. Insert new coach, and more transfers. You are one game away from CFP. They transfer in and they transfer out. Kyle needs to listen to Gilbert's interview today. We're fine.
Libbiana, I will not listen to anything Gilbert says.
Oh, well.
Hey, Dave, for those out there that care, can I just quickly go over the offensive skill positions and show what we have coming back?
Please.
Because, you know, obviously this does not include the transfer portal, which I think we're going to hit hard, especially on offense. But I'm just going to go very quickly through the 4 positions. At quarterback, we have Chaston Ditta will be a redshirt freshman. Cole Hodge will be a redshirt freshman. Or actually, it's Connor Hodge. Cole's the wide receiver. Then we'll have Raheem Jeter is a redshirt junior. Now, whether he comes back or not, I don't know. This is just who's on the roster right now. Running back, we got London Montgomery, redshirt junior. Parker Jenkins will be a senior. And then we have TJ Engelman, redshirt sophomore. And Dewan Lacey will be a redshirt sophomore. At tight end, we got Desirio Riles will be a senior, but I'm hearing he might opt out of the bowl game. And so that would lead me to believe that he's probably going to hit the portal. But so far, he's on the team. So we got him as a senior. We have Mason Brown, redshirt sophomore. Then we have Cayman Reynolds, who redshirted, but he's supposed to be pretty good. He'll be a redshirt freshman next year. And then at wide receiver, we'll have Brock Spalding, redshirt senior. Jaquez Petaway will be a senior. We got Tyler Johnson, who'll be a redshirt senior. We got Dylan Lorick, who had a couple really good catches. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore. Waiters also had a couple good catchers. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore. And then you got Johnny Williams from Havelock, who was really a running back in high school, but they project him as a wide receiver next year. He'll be a redshirt freshman. And then the other Hodge brother, he'll be a redshirt freshman.
That's a good place for him, Justin.
And then Malik Leverett will be a redshirt junior. And then a freshman from this recruiting class, we'll have Trey Burke as a quarterback, and then Dawson Quarterman, who's supposed to be a monster at wide receiver. So, I mean, the cupboard is not bare. We have some depth. If you add in the transfer portal, I mean, we could have a good team next season.
Oh,
we could have a really good team.
We definitely could. You may get an OC in here that brings half his team with him. I mean, all is not lost for next year. I think we need some good news soon, and it's going to be slow going on the portal. Don't open up till January 2nd, but when it opens up, everything's going to start happening fast in terms of when we can actually take players because it's only open through the 16th. I think we need 3 can't miss receivers. I think you got to take 3 receivers you can't miss on them. You maybe take more than that, but you got to have 3 that you really know are going to hit. We need to take 1 or 2 tight ends, depending on. By the way, if I'm the other tight end, JR, help me out.
Desirio Riles or Javante Carter?
And I see Connor just left. Why? What are you doing, Riles? You can get more money now than was offered to you initially from us. You see we're down 1 tight end. Why would you leave now? That makes 0 sense.
Yeah,
I agree.
And that'll hurt too because Mason Brown is primarily a blocking tight end. So we don't really have a great receiving tight end on the roster right now if Riles left.
Here's the thing, guys. Like these opt-outs and these portal hits, if they start hitting our offensive line, if they start hitting our left tackle, McCrimmon, if they start hitting up our right guard, Poku, I mean, these are really tough to fill. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen, but there's going to be more. I mean, today are just the first few dominoes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you're getting influenced by agents. You're getting influenced by your buddies back home who everybody wants that name brand. Look at Riles. He wants the U, right?
And he probably won't see the field.
Right? He wants the U. It sounds cool. You got an agent pulling you. And a lot of these guys, when you're 19 and 20, you don't always have the vision to put this all together and realize the big picture. And that's what I worry about for Hauser too. But look, it's just insanity. The whole thing is insanity. I would say to Riles that you should finish your career as a Pirate in terms of at the very least playing the bowl game. Like you at least owe that to Blake Harrell and your teammates that are staying. So, yeah, I'm not one to support all these decisions. And for me, it's always going to be East Carolina first. I'll keep saying that because that's the way I see it.
You know, one thing I'm glad I'm not seeing is do we have a chance of getting Garrett Riley? Noah, that is yet to be determined. You know, that is rumored to be out there. But one thing that I haven't seen anybody say, and I don't want to put this in anybody's head, so I halfway don't even want to say it because I'm glad it hasn't been being said. So now I'm going to say it. I'm glad nobody is like going, well, maybe all these players know the real head coach was John David Baker, and that's why they're all leaving because JDB left. Now everybody's following suit, and I think it has more to do with. I think this has more to do with Hauser's decision to leave, and now everybody else is following suit because Hauser's leaving. But you know, I don't know. We do need to get this OC hire done in a hurry. You don't want to make the wrong decision. But we need to be. The sooner we get an OC in here, the sooner we can start putting together the rest of the offensive staff, depending on, you know, who else is going to leave, who this guy wants to bring in himself, and the sooner we can start evaluating players that are going to be entering the portal, particularly at quarterback. And the Pirates, you know, the fan base needs some good news.
Yeah, Robert Dedrick asked about Kevin Monroe's son because we didn't offer him because our tight end room was full. Here's the deal. This is on Mike Houston. Mike Houston, they didn't want him, right? Blake did, but it was too late because he had already committed somewhere else. You have to, you can't blame his dad, who was a great player here, or his son.
He hadn't committed at Stanford when Houston was still here. That didn't happen until September.
Right, but I'm just saying that
Blake jumped on him late.
Right, because Houston didn't give him the time of day. What's the kid supposed to do but like wait around, and then not have anything? So that's why the whole situation with Kevin Monroe and his son was because of Houston.
Yeah, and who knows? You know, he's at Stanford next year. He might, you know, his transfer portal works both ways. He may end up in Grable.
No doubt.
That made no sense.
Good point, Kyle. Because I think we were loaded at tight end back then. They said they were looking, Matt, what they said was the tight end slot that they had available, they wanted to pursue a blocking tight end because they had plenty of receiving tight ends. That's why they said they didn't go after him initially, early.
Gotcha.
Hayes, I'm curious to know, JR, I don't know if were you done talking about the tight end?
What's that?
Talking about Kevin.
I'm just making sure you were done talking about Kevin Monroe's son.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just finish my point on that one really quick, Kyle, and I'll kick it to you. I do think we should have made a spot for him. I think when you have a legacy recruit that especially grew up locally, you know, he grew up locally. He wanted to be a Pirate by all accounts. Kevin was a great Pirate. I think you make a spot for that guy. And I thought that was a mistake. I'll admit it. I thought that was a mistake, but it's over now. I do hope we get him back someday. That would be great.
I agree with you, Matt. My question for that, Pays, I don't know anything about the Mercer head coach. What was his background? Was that his offense? I know they put up unbelievable numbers at Mercer. Why didn't he take him with him to Toledo? Why didn't he take that quarterback with him? Why has Mercer not named him head coach? You know, so all these questions do come to mind. You know, why didn't he go to Toledo with him, and why hasn't he been named head coach at Mercer? So those would be a couple of red flags for me. I would need to know more about, and I'll do some research on the now Toledo head coach, former Mercer head coach, to make sure this was
Mike Jenkins, I think's his name.
Yeah, to make sure this was truly the OC's offense. What about the OC? That quarterback will not be coming. And look, if we get that kid, if we get that quarterback from North, I imagine he's going to Oklahoma State. That kid's going to be making some serious money. But yeah, if we manage to get if we can get the North Texas quarterback, then yeah, go ahead and hire that OC now.
Kenneth says, as long as I don't see Caden playing for Chapel Bill, I'll be okay. That would be a slap.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be the worst nightmare right there. That would be the worst nightmare.
Well, he's a California kid. So
Mercer Hyde, West Georgia head coach.
okay. Again, I'm gonna have to research. I'm gonna have to research that OC more, and I'm gonna have to research their previous head coach more to find out why he wasn't hired or taken to Toledo with their head coach, the head coach from Mercer.
How about this? How about this guy? Caden will end up at Big Ten. My bet is UCLA or Johnny speculating Indiana. So Pace is agreeing with you, Johnny.
Yeah, that's my speculation as well.
I mean, if he ends up in Indiana, I mean, I could stomach that a little bit. But, you know, beyond that, then, you know, here's the whole thing. You know, if we're playing by the rules, then Indiana shouldn't have been able to reach out to him until January.
Yep, but we do the same thing. You know,
I hope
do
we're
we?
doing that.
Do we?
You know,
Yeah.
It seems like it. Seems
I hope
like
we are.
I hope we are too. But are
Man, we play by the rules at ECU probably more than any school in the country. We got to get our hands dirty a little bit. I mean, everybody else is working through a middleman. Everybody in college football is working through a middleman, and we need to get in that game if we're not. And maybe we are. But if people are doing it to you, you know, you got to get your hands dirty a little bit. And you know, the reality though is we would get slapped on the wrist 10 times more than a Chapel Hill, for example. They would get let off the hook. But still, you know,
they had people writing papers. They had people writing for papers for their players, and they lawyered up, spent $18 million on lawyers, or they would have had a big fine. They would have had postseason ban and a whole bunch of stuff and scholarships and blah blah blah. But guess what? That's what happens with that. But Matt, I mean, this whole thing with transfers and all that, the reality is this, guys. This is going to happen year after year after year. It's not being complacent. It's not somebody copping out. The bottom line is we're going to have to get used to it, and we're going to have to – what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to raise more money so we can offer these kids more money to be what we know that we can be, and that is – I don't like the fact that we're okay with being spending third in the league. I want to be number one in the league. I mean, Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first, you're last. I know it's a funny movie, Will Ferrell with Talladega Nights, but my God, can we just have the mentality of being number one and wanting to be number one and not so happy to be number three?
Yeah, no, look, I certainly wish we could. You know, I'd like to know what we have as of right now, because I'm yet to get a straight answer on that. And to me, the best way to go out and fundraise and raise money is if you know exactly where you stand, and then you say to your fans, hey, this is where we're at right now, and this is where we need to be. And then there's a clear and definitive goal.
The rumor is 12. The rumor is 12 to 13 million in rev share, and then 80. The rumor is 80% of that goes to football, so you can do that math.
Yeah, I've heard that, and then, but like last week, I heard that it was going to be 7 million. So, and look, now Pays is saying 5. So, like, we're kind of all over the place with this one based on what we're hearing. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough. I just wish there would be a little more transparency about how much we have. You know, but you know, I don't
80% goes to football. Is that what you're saying, Kyle?
That's the rumor.
Okay, so if we had between 12 and 13, let's say 12 and a half, 80% of that would be 10 million. So there you go.
I mean, that's a hell of a lot more than we had last year.
Very true.
Yeah, but it does always seem like we're playing from behind.
But USF got ahead of us, but they took out an internal loan for 16 million. I'm not sure exactly how that is paid back. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's probably something that we probably don't want to mess with. But
You talking
that's
about
how they're
USF,
ahead of us.
JR?
USF. What did I say? UCF?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
USF. South Florida. South Florida. Yeah.
What I heard about that situation is that apparently they were having like a meeting with their board of trustees last week because they are going to max out utilizing student fees. And I don't know the ins and outs of this. I'm sure you guys know a lot more than me about this, but apparently you can't do, or we're not in a position to do that right now at ECU. And, but I guess that was the big thing. They're having a board meeting and they're trying to get that approved. So, hey, you know, if it works out, all you could say is good for them. They're making it happen.
Right now, FaZe brings up a great point. I'm sorry, Justin does too. But part of the problem we have right now, guys, not being political once again, but we have a North Carolina legislature who hasn't passed a budget, a new budget, which we're legally by law supposed to be able to do in 2 years. If we do pass a budget, then we could be close to $10 million for revenue share. That's including the part of the problem is there's $4 million. This $4 or $5 million is supposed to be coming to us from the gambling. So thank you for everybody that gambles.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they're even trying to screw us in that deal, right? Like, aren't they supposed to? They're trying to give more to UNC and Duke, and gamblers don't discriminate.
Duke shouldn't be getting any of that. That's Duke's not a state-funded school.
No, Duke and Wake are.
Oh, I meant to say, NC State, yeah. So, but like gamblers don't discriminate. Like gamblers don't care where they make their money. If it's on Duke or East Carolina, they don't care.
If anything, I think we should get more, us in Appalachian State and Charlotte, being we're competing at the same level at UNC and NC State and at a disadvantage. The state should take care of us, being ESPN and the monopoly that is, and the term Power Four. We're at a disadvantage. I think the state should subsidize us.
You want to? Here's something odd in Virginia. They don't have to worry about that because you're not allowed to wager on in-state institutions if you're a resident of Virginia. Like I can't like bet on James Madison or UVA. It's
Same here in Connecticut, JR. Like there are lots of times I want to put a bet in on UConn.
You got to drive over the border.
Yeah, they won't. They will not allow it.
What do you agree with me on, Jay? I'm glad you agree with me. It's a sure bet every time, but I don't know what you agree with me on.
Virginia Tech got a $29 million gift today.
$29 million gift.
That pales in what Michigan State got the other day, and Utah. So that's the trend lately.
Well, we have Mr. Beast out there.
Yeah, well, forget about him.
He was at a UNC basketball game at halftime doing Mr. Beast things. Screw that guy. I've had it with Mr. Beast. He has no, his mama at one time worked for the ECU football program. I don't know when that was, but I heard that was at one point she did something for the football program. I don't know if that was when Skip was here or what, but I've got no use for Mr. Beast at this point. He I don't even do something that I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any interest in ECU sports, unfortunately.
But he has a great interest in Greenville and blowing things up at all hours of the night and just doing all of his stunts, not all of them, but he does stuff all the time in Greenville using, where the fire department's required or some police activities required. So why don't you just do a little payback? I don't get why he's hanging out, Kyle, in Chapel Hill while completely just abandoning ECU. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't. Because he's a self-promoter and the biggest platform, unfortunately, is UNC, and that's what it all comes down to. He wants to be tied to the biggest name brand in our state, and he doesn't give two shits. Yeah, he gives money to all these people, but most of that money is coming from the sponsors on his video. It's not coming out of his pocket. He's a multimillionaire. And yeah, he helps people out, but it's all he is a self promoter. That's what he is. And the damn fool doesn't realize he could actually. I'm going to be the first. I'm going to make East Carolina the first Group of 5 football team to win a national champion. He could do that. He could make sure we have the highest revenue sharing in the Group of 5, that we're the equivalent to the any Power 4 team, get us the most talent. We put Mr. Beast everywhere. It'd be all over the place. It'd be a big story on ESPN. And then when we make the playoffs, he would be all over that.
Mr. Beast Stadium.
All he's doing by associating with Chapel Hill, he's just another face. He's just another celebrity. He's just rubbing elbows with Michael Jordan and Eric Church.
Yeah, Monica says the McMahons, they do donate to the school business.
Look, they're not married. Look, here's the deal with
They're
Vince
not
and
married
Linda McMahon. They're technically married. Linda lives in Florida. Vince lives in Connecticut. Vince has had a lot of legal trouble. Is going to end up, a lot of that's going to end up getting brushed under the rug for Vince. And I think part of it should, because I think, you know, when you've been getting hundreds of thousands of dollars and you've been willingly doing things, shut up, lady. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I don't want to. You know, if Vince wants to give me a few $100,000, I'll do what he wants to. So I think a lot of that stuff with Vince is going to be blown over. But that's another thing. Vince needs to rebuild his image. Have we approached him? Hey, Vince, you need to rebuild your image. You know, how about we get you some positive publicity donating to your alma mater, to the football program. Vince likes football. You know, he tried to start the XFL.
Football. He played football at East Carolina.
Vince did?
I think so. He's a graduate in 1969.
I don't think he played football at East Carolina. But he owned the XFL. He likes football. You know, maybe we have reached out to him, but if we reached out to him in the right way, how much does John Gilbert and Ryan Robinson know about his scandal? Has anybody said, hey, Vince, you need to rebuild your image? Let me throw this at you. I don't know. I don't know what approaches we take, or what approaches we don't take. He wrestled. All
right. Did you see what Kevin posted on there? I've never heard that before, and I know that just the person to ask about that, but I can't believe that Vince McMahon wrestled at ECU. If he did, I apologize, but
I don't think
I've heard every wrestling story from. I've never heard his name.
Vince was not an athlete at ECU. When Vince left ECU, first of all right, so Vince didn't know his dad, Vince McMahon Sr., until he was well in his teen years. He grew up in a trailer park in the Pinehurst area, and he found out his dad was Vince McMahon Sr., who at the time the WWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, in the Northeast. Came back down here for college. Then when he got done with college at ECU, he went to DC, where Vince McMahon Sr. was doing his TV tapes at the time, and became a commentator. You know, that's how he got his forte into wrestling. He was a commentator for his dad, but as far as him being an athlete, no, he didn't play football here and he didn't wrestle here. If I'm wrong on either one of those things, I'll gladly be corrected. But I'm pretty knowledgeable about ECU, and about more so probably than a lot of people. As far as my ECU knowledge, there's a lot of people that know more than me. What I'm trying to say is, you're probably not going to meet another podcaster associated with East Carolina that knows more about professional wrestling, with apologies to my co-host Stevie Fly, who's not here tonight.
And Matt, you're a WWE guy as well, right?
I pretended to be one the other night when Kyle and Stevie were live. Right, Kyle?
You pretend is the operative word, Matt. Yes.
Yeah. No. The only thing I know about wrestling was a brief period, like 80, like 86 through like maybe like 89, when like WWF was at its prime. Yeah. But I don't know anything about today. But
yeah, you just lit the fuse, Matt. You just lit the fuse on what was that? That was last night. Yeah. And then let those two. I learned a lot though, Kyle and Stevie. So.
Oh yeah, those guys definitely have a serious knowledge of professional wrestling. But guys, just to get back to the bowl game for a minute, I saw that the line went from. I just saw about 5 minutes ago. It's 7.5 now.
Yeah.
I want to say it got down to 4.5.
It did. No, 4. It went from 6 to 4 quickly, and then from 4 straight to 7.5.
According to ChatGTP, Vince McMahon did not wrestle collegiately at East Carolina.
I think that was a joke. Like I said.
Well, maybe.
Okay. It could have very well been.
Yeah, the line's up to 7.5. It got down to 4. I expected to go up even more.
Yeah, I think for every opt out, every guy that hits the portal, you're going to see that line go up. And I haven't really followed. Do we know of any opt outs or portal guys from Pitt?
I haven't heard of a damn one.
I haven't heard. Yeah, I went to their 24/7 site. Nothing.
Okay.
They got that good Power 4 money. Delicious.
Here's the thing. Asking Mike Wright or Chaston Ditta to orchestrate an upset against Pitt is one thing, but when you take away, 2 or 3 of his best weapons, it's almost just not fair. So Kyle, I just want to say that I completely understand why you and anybody else is not going to invest in making that trip. And I know you still might come, and I hope you do. But for me, I'm just closer. I'm much closer. It's less of an investment for me. I just want to go there to support the 30 seniors that are going to be there. And Mike Wright, I want to see. I just want to be there in case something crazy happens, which it might. I want to say, yeah, I was there when the Pirates went there undermanned and took out Pitt in the Military Bowl. So I'm going to go to support the seniors, to support Mike Wright, and but I understand if anybody chooses not to go. I completely understand. I just have the luxury of being just a little bit closer than y'all.
Yeah, and I'm 50-50 on it. The tickets are purchased, the parking pass is purchased. I'm 50-50 on it. The good news is if we don't go and we pull off the upset, I'm going to just blame Jessica.
Oh, my God. Wow.
The whole time I'm going to be like, you didn't want to go. That's I knew you really didn't want to go. You didn't care about going. If you'd have wanted to go, I would have went. But you.
Yeah, I think Mike Wright can. This is a chance for Mike Wright to really cement his legacy, and to really, nobody's given. If you're Pitt, maybe you catch them on a day when they say there's no way they can win because they don't have their quarterback, they don't have wide receivers, they don't have running backs, they don't have this, yada yada yada. I haven't heard a single defensive lineman come out yet.
Dave, don't jinx us. We got 12 days.
I know, but
yeah, no, I hear you. Hopefully they won't. But with Mike Wright, I don't know that they're going to, they're preparing for him at this point. I'm sure they will going forward. But he did throw 24 touchdown passes in his NCAA career, so he can throw the ball. So it's not just Mike Wright running all the time. He can throw the ball, but you definitely have to mix some stuff up. He just can't be a pocket passer and expect to, have good results. So if he wins, Dave, if he can somehow orchestrate an upset, he will be a legend in Pirate lore forever. You're right about that.
Here with Rajay,
great point.
Will be Mike Wright.
That's a great point. Like,
how about this? Maybe when Vince's image improves, we can induct him as an honorary member of the EC Sports Hall of Fame for his contributions to sports entertainment, pro wrestling. It would get publicity.
I think he should improve his image by donating to the football program.
$1 billion.
Here's the thing about Mike Wright. Like, for him to be effective in this game, we have got to get him established a few plays early where we establish his ability to throw the ball. Because the thing is, if you don't establish that, people are going to understand what's coming. It's going to be read option. All right. It's going to be hopefully a little bit of speed option. It's going to be too predictable. Like, you saw that at the end of the FAU game when he came in, and for some reason we just refused to throw the ball. I have no idea why. I'm a big believer in the other team has to stop you, and even if you're up 40 points, like when your backups come in, they need work, so you just run the offense. But you're going to have to establish him as a threat to throw the ball, and then you almost give him, situations where he has free reign to improvise. Like if he's in the pocket, you call some quarterback draws, right? You give him room to scramble and to improvise. And, the thing is, like I said, if you can't establish his ability to throw, it's going to be a very, very long day for ECU.
I agree, man. Hey, real quick, Kyle, Jay Sertles, his comment about Chaston Ditta. I don't know if I said this in the pre-show or if I said it in the early part of the show, but Chaston Ditta is getting snaps. There's just no doubt about that. He's going to get some snaps. He's going to get to throw some balls. So we're definitely going to see Chaston Ditta in there.
Agreed.
I would fake punts. This is a game where I would any gadget play I had, I'd run it. I'd
go for it every fourth down.
Bowl games don't count against red shirts. So Ditta can play. No, Ditta can play.
Yeah,
that's a great point. That's a great point.
Here's another thing too, as far as the team is concerned. You're getting the bowl practice. Matt, I want to ask you this. I forgot about earlier in the show. How important is a player, because you've been there, done that, and I forgot I'm getting old. How important are these practices for next year, and how important is the game?
We don't have half the team for next year.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just talking about the ones that we do.
I think if you utilize the time properly, they can be really effective. I think it will be even more effective. Like, I think when we have the indoor facility ready to go next year, I think it's going to be way more effective than it even is now. But the key is you have got to get young guys reps, and build their confidence. I think players make their biggest jump. I think you make your biggest jump as a player in college football in spring ball. I think that's when you make your biggest jump. But if you can utilize these practices now and just get some more reps, I think it helps a lot. So it's a good point. Kyle, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Paul. I don't know how to say this name. Paula. Yes. Thank you. Why do you think Ditta should start? Do you think he gives us the best chance to win? Because if it's about building he's not going to be the starting quarterback next year.
He said Ditto, not Ditta.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, whatever. Ditta is his name. He's not going to be the starting quarterback next year. Now, if you believe he gives us the best chance to win, that's fine. But if you think he should start because Wright's not going to be here next year, no. You start whoever's going to give us the best chance to win this game. Those seniors, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, deserve the effort to try to win this game. So unless you think Ditta gives us a better chance to win over Wright, then no, you start Mike Wright. Now, if you're saying Ditta gives us a better chance to win, it's not about next year, then fine, that's fine. But why do you think that he gives us a better chance to win the game?
No. Mike Wright's my starter.
Yeah, Mike Wright will be starting.
Yeah, I think you have to go with Mike Wright. But I do think Ditta is going to play. Just like, I'm sure you're going to see him get a few series. And maybe what happens is
I think it depends on how the game's going. I think if it's a 4-quarter game and Mike Wright's playing well, you leave him in.
Right. Yeah, you go with the hot hand.
I would bet 100. I would bet that Ditta's definitely going to see some series, at least a couple of them, even if Mike Wright's playing well. I just think he is. Mm-hmm. But, I could be wrong.
Wright is not a very good QB. Well, he has 24 touchdown passes. He started in the Big Ten and the SEC. I don't know what evidence we have that he's not a very good quarterback. Very limited sample size this year. We didn't allow him to throw the ball any. It looked good running the ball against Coastal. We were brought him in against FAU. We weren't trying.
No, that's right, Kyle.
Right.
So
that is right.
I don't know. I think Ditta. I would say this. All right, if Hauser had left and JDB had stayed, then maybe you do play Ditta, because I think maybe he's more suited for this offense. But I think when you're trying to put together something without a true OC to try to win a game, I think Mike Wright's skill set in this situation, he's actually the perfect quarterback without a true offensive coordinator, because you can go out there and do backyard stuff with him.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, look at this, because Axel even points out he has an interception on defense. He's punted. He's done everything for this team. And guess what? He is a playmaker. He's a playmaker.
Yep.
I didn't say he's the best player in college football. I didn't say anything delusional. But as far as pulling, like Kyle says, you're looking for a way to win this football game. And I'll tell you why. You want to talk about misery is if you play a lot of guys. Yes, like Matt said, we want to get them experience, but that doesn't mean that they start the game, and that doesn't mean they get a whole lot of reps. They're going to get some work, but we need to find a way to win this football game.
I agree, Dave, 100%. And hey, it's great to see Axel posting again. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, JR. Yeah, it is good to see Axel.
Yeah, he's got a tour going over Guns N' Roses. So he's off.
Hey, and in regards to, I'm going to call him Polak. I don't know what his name is. Polak, maybe. Maybe Mike Wright's passing rating is poor. I'm not going to debate you on that. But he's a wild card that we're not going to win this game, matching them, player for player. We have to come up with some kind of something different. And Mike Wright is that wild card, and that's why he's going to start, and that gives us our best chance to win.
Yeah, and you can do a lot of things with him that, where you basically get him out of the pocket, roll out where he has an option. If nobody's open, obviously, you just take off and use your legs. I think that's the big thing, is just let him be a playmaker.
Yeah.
You're showing, like a quarterback draw is a perfect play, where it's like 3rd and 4.
Yep.
You spread it out and you just let him use his feet and improvise. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of that. Just let him be himself. I mean, I think that's your best chance to win this game.
If Blake Harrell finds a way to win this game, I would consider it one of the greatest wins in ECU history.
Will you go tarps off, Kyle, if we win this game?
Yeah, everybody's obsessed with me going tarps off. Look, if everybody wants to see my titties that bad, my OnlyFans is Kyle from LaGrange. My God. I get it, I'm the fat guy, but that's getting old.
Just like the pencil roll, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. It gets beaten to the ground.
I haven't said that in a long time.
I know. Well, it's been put in the vault. That's why.
Yeah.
I'll go tarps off if we win. Who gives, shit. I mean,
hey, Matt.
If we win this game, I'll definitely.
Well, if we win this game, I'll go pants off. I'll share in front of my balls. How about that?
Love it.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, like last year when you were jumping up and down, this year you can just rip your shirt off.
Like twist it around your head like a helicopter.
Oh yeah. Man, yeah. We had a blast at the game last year. I had such a good time.
I think the biggest question for the bowl game is you want to go, if I'm going to go tarps off, I want to know if Dave is going to wear a Charlotte FC hoodie again to the bowl this year.
No, I'm going to buy a 2X.
Wait, did you wear a Charlotte FC hoodie? What are we talking about?
Yeah, he wore a Charlotte FC hoodie to the bowl last year, Matt. What are you talking about? You knew that.
A 2X. So I had a 2. Yes, because I have lost.
I would have given Dave a hard time about that one.
We gave him a hard time about it, Matt. I think Matt might have Alzheimer's.
No, he does not.
No. What it is, he's got CT. He's got concussions.
I'm messing with you because I wanted to hear it from Dave.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm playing.
About to say, God almighty, Matt, we gave him hell.
Oh well. Justin Bud says he'll donate 1,000 just for Kyle to keep his pants on. Hey, this is a great revenue sharing. Kyle is going to take his pants off unless we get $12 million by Friday.
Matt, what would be a perfect ending to this bowl game? Would be Mike Wright to score the winning touchdown and then high five Bubba.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be Bubba's still waiting for a high five. his hand is still out there. We got to get a picture of that for the show where we can put up here. So, but man, there were two interesting stories last year around this time. The first one was Kyle with the handshake heard around the world. Right,
with
Kyle?
Blake Harrell, yes, yeah.
Good luck.
Kyle from LaGrange Barber.
And then Bubba with the
longest handshake in history.
The Bubba.
He wouldn't let go of my hand.
And Bubba with the shortest high five in history.
And also Matt jumping up and down like a schoolgirl.
Oh, I was. I have to admit it. I was going crazy when Rajay scored. Where we were standing in the end zone, we were just right in front of the play. And when he made that cut, he's going down the sideline. He made so this is. Let me actually rewind a little bit. It was, what was it? 3rd and 11? Was it 3rd and 11?
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds right. It was 3rd and long. I think it was 11. Yeah.
So when I saw we initially were running the ball, I cursed out loud. I'm like, no freaking way we're running the ball in this. And then he got free. And I was like, great call. That's a great call. Like you do. And then when Rajay cut back to his right, I'm like, he's going to take this to the house. And we were going crazy. It was awesome. It was great.
Hey, Matt, were they yelling for Rajay to get down?
Yes.
There were a few people yelling for Rajay to get down.
One of them was Blake Harrell. I think Blake's learned from that. I think one of them. I appreciate that, Kenny or Kenneth.
Forget Petey. Let's haul Kyle from LaGrange.
That moment when Rajay broke that touchdown off last year, and just for me, I just beyond emotional. I literally started. I will get it. Like my emotions will overwhelm me at moments like that. I started crying in the stands, and then I got fired up to stop them on defense, and it was. Yeah, one of those moments you'll never forget, and maybe we'll have another one like that in Annapolis this year. It's going to take something. This would be one hell of an effort. Like I said, considering all the circumstances around this and how good this Pitt team is, I would consider it one of the greatest wins in ECU history.
Kenny saw Kyle crying in the stands.
Kenny, that is possible, my friend. I don't know if you're joking or not, but that is entirely possible.
Hey, anytime you can beat NC State, it's a good thing, right?
Amen.
I posted video of myself crying after that game on my personal Facebook page. So I think Kenny's just BSing, but you definitely could have saw it.
No doubt. So what do you guys think about somebody mentioned earlier about the guys who left? Would you bring them back? The guys from defense that left last year?
Some of them.
Zakai Barker for sure.
Yeah.
I think it depends for me, and without knowing exactly how they left. If anybody was kind of disrespectful about it.
There isn't any linebackers unless they go in the portal. So I mean,
if somebody if they were kind of disrespectful or, without going into some names, I think there was definitely one whose dad was very disrespectful on X.
Oh yeah,
an offensive player,
and I don't even want to mention his name. I don't even want to give him the airtime. Yeah, Monica makes a great point. Tegan Wilk was tremendous this year.
You know why Tegan came back? He came back because Blake Harrell was the coach and not Mike Houston. I asked him that question. So if you're wondering about speculation, I asked him that question. He came back because Blake was the coach and not Mike Houston. And it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, if you leave on the right terms, I'm fine with it. We could definitely, look. But I just, without knowing, I just can't. I can't say.
Well, there's speculation that we're going to do that we're going to bring back some guys, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. So I think I don't think Blake would be looking into doing that if he didn't think it was going to be the right, decision.
Yeah.
And that makes our defense even better, potentially. We don't know what's going to happen, but
Oh no, he's a senior. I was going to say, I hope one of them's not Gavin Gibson. That wouldn't make Matt happy, but I think he's a senior this year.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Him and who's the other one? Mims? Was it Mims?
Yeah, CJ Mims. Yeah.
Yeah, CJ Mims.
Yeah,
CJ Mims.
I mean, I think he had a pretty good year for the
Yeah,
Tar Heels. So.
As Tar. Yeah, right.
Who knows? I don't know.
Well, maybe. Do you think that Belichick is going to make it a point to try to rate us again?
No, I don't think he's going to take a lot of guys from the portal this year because of the amount of kids he's
Well,
done out of high school. I mean,
39.
To answer the question, somebody asked about the triple option with Mike Wright. Yeah, you could do that, but you really don't want to establish a whole new offense. And I guess I wouldn't want to try to install a whole new offense in less than
triple option in 1 week. No.
Yeah, exactly. So no, what you do is you run what we can run that we've practiced with Mike Wright in this offense, which is some read option and some speed option, and then and Mike can throw the ball.
Yeah,
it's a misconception that he can't throw it. He definitely can.
This offense is technically a veer spread, and the veer offense, I mean, it's like a simplified triple option. You could run that and still have effective running plays without getting into the triple option stuff. There's just not enough time for that.
No doubt. And we'll obviously have by the way, we'll have a show on Wednesday night if you're wondering. But hey, Matt, my question to you is, I've been wondering all day, the ultimate question for you is, when are you watching Ernest Saves Christmas?
That's a great question.
I mean, I've been pondering, inquiring minds want to know, Matt.
I did, out of respect for Kyle, I did find it is on YouTube.
It may be on Netflix.
Okay.
You want me to ask that person over here where it's being streamed right now?
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
How long is it, Kyle? How big of a commitment is it? Is it an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Hold on a minute, Alexa. Like an hour and 40 minutes, I think, hour and 30 minutes. No more. The 90-minute range. Alexa, where can you stream Ernest Saves Christmas?
Disney Plus.
All right.
Ernest Saves Christmas is available to stream on Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Pluto TV.
There you go.
Good call, Kevin.
Amazon Prime Video, if you prefer.
Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Pluto. There you go.
Got it.
I agree with Monica. He is a leader, no doubt.
Yep.
He's
Absolutely.
Look, I would love to see Mike Wright go out with a ton of success.
And then hang around a while, maybe be on staff or something.
Monica
in the future years.
TSO Hall of Fame. She's great.
He may actually be the offensive coordinator.
Hey, would you let him?
Not quite
yet. Let him call his own plays.
Smart kid.
Kenny Curlings responds with "It's a Wonderful Life." Yeah, great movie, man. That's a great movie. That's
It's a Wonderful Life. One of five movies. One of five Christmas movies ever. It's funny. There's a misconception that It's a Wonderful Life was not a successful movie. It might not have done much box office, but it was nominated for Best Movie of the Year. The year it came out.
Talking about money wise at the box office.
Yeah, and another one that was nominated for Best Movie of the Year of the five that were ever nominated was Miracle on 34th Street.
Yep. Both came out obviously the same year in 19
consecutive years.
Let's see.
It's a Wonderful Life. Great movie. One of my favorite.
I think It's a Wonderful Life is overrated. It is way too long. There are points in that movie that just bore the hell out of me. It's a good movie, but I think it's overrated.
Oh my God, I love it.
Features the great Donna Reed, which is always a great thing.
Charlie Brown is short and it is classic. I watched it last night. DVD or Blu-ray will run you about 25 minutes. Last night, right before the show, my wife and I did a watched a couple of classic Christmas specials. We watched Charlie Brown Christmas and the Garfield Christmas from the 80s.
Oh man, I love Garfield. What about Four Christmases?
That's a good one, man. Four Christmases is a really good one. Classic Vince Vaughn. The part where he has to go up on stage and do a what does he pretend to be, like Jesus, right? I think he pretends to be Jesus. It's pretty funny, very funny.
What's everybody's favorite version of A Christmas Carol? I love the 99 version with Patrick Stewart. I think it is, there's probably, counting all the animated versions, there's probably 50 to 100 versions of A Christmas Carol out there. And I legitimately think the Patrick Stewart version in 99 is the best version of A Christmas Carol ever made.
Do you remember, oh my God, what is his name? I'm trying to think of the guy that's impression, Rich Little. Rich Little had Rich Little had one, I believe it was Christmas Carol, and he played like all the characters or something. He was really good on HBO. That was like back in the 80s.
He was talented, very talented.
Yeah, I saw him in Vegas. He was.
Nobody else has a take on their favorite version of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I told you this last year. I know it's but
you like the third.
I like the 1951 Christmas Carol.
That's a good one. That's
my favorite one. I think the guy who plays Scrooge, his name was Alistair Sim.
Yeah, Alistair.
He was great in that role. Great.
Yeah, a lot of people like the version from the 80s with help me out, guys. Who was in
George
that?
C. Scott.
George C. Scott. That's a good version, but I think Patrick Stewart's a better Scrooge than George C. Scott.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it.
Oh yeah.
He also had Henry Winkler did one too back in the day.
There's something about Patrick. I think Scrooge is often portrayed as being older than he actually should be. And Patrick Stewart is certainly an older man in 1999, but he's not old. And I like that portrayal of Scrooge where he's not some old, decrepit man. It's a very good portrayal by Patrick Stewart. I think he does a wonderful job. The worst portrayal of Scrooge I've ever seen is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is a tremendous Grinch. He's a horrible Scrooge. He should have stuck with the Grinch and never did the animated version of A Christmas Carol. It is god awful. Jim Carrey in A Christmas Carol, the animated version, sounds like somebody doing an impersonation of Ebenezer Scrooge versus playing Ebenezer Scrooge, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, one of the best comedies of.
Isn't that a Thanksgiving movie?
Kenny, those aren't two pillows.
That is a great. Those two guys together. Oh my gosh, that was comedy gold, man.
Wasn't that based at Thanksgiving?
It's more Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's Del Griffith, the shower curtain ring salesman. Classic role. I'm going to agree with Kenneth Maynor on this one here. Black Christmas is a tremendous horror movie. Tremendous. From 1974. You had a young, what was her name? She was Lois Lane in Superman.
Margot Kidder.
Yes, Margot Kidder. Thank you. Young actress from 1974. Really freaky movie, man.
What about Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original one, Matt?
That movie has become more popular. Like, it's one of those weird movies that when that came out in the 80s, people freaked.
I loved that as a kid. I loved Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. I used to rent them repeatedly.
Yeah.
Lon King Guru 22 said, whoever it is, I'm shocked no one has mentioned Die Hard yet.
It's because it's not a Christmas movie.
Painter, Captain Ben Stolen, all these folks are.
Is Trading Places a Christmas movie? Kyle? Trading Places, is that a Christmas movie?
With Lindsay Lohan?
No, Eddie Murphy and
I'm going to obviously answer this question. I've never seen it.
You've never seen
wow.
Oh, wow.
No, I have not.
I
thought it was a Lindsay Lohan movie. Clearly not.
hey, Matt. So he's making you watch Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves Christmas is a tremendous movie. I
like Ernest. I'm giving you a hard time. I like Ernest, but Trading Places is a good movie.
Clarence
We're gonna do it.
Beeks.
Oh, great character, man.
Matt Revin said, "You lost me at It's a Wonderful Life is overrated."
It is overrated.
No.
We're gonna do a review. We're not gonna after tonight. No more.
Okay. Yeah, I am thinking of Parent Trap.
No more mentions of Ernest until the big reveal next week.
On Sunday.
Yeah, I got to watch it, man. I'm going to watch it as well. So
Gremlins is not a Christmas movie.
It takes place at Christmas, but Elf is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
am I the only one that thinks Dirty Santa was funny?
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa, yeah.
Bad
With
Santa
Billy
is
Joel.
excellent. Bad Santa, yeah. That's a big admission on everybody's part. Bad Santa is excellent. The sequel,
Thank you.
The
That's
sequel,
my
Bad
favorite.
Santa 2, is not that great.
No.
But the original Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton,
yeah.
I mean, just.
Hey, Matt.
The interaction with him and that little boy, just. There you go. The warm world of electric sex. Matt purchased a leg lamp today, guys.
Monica, let me tell Monica. It's funny Monica mentioned that because just today I put up a 2-foot leg lamp.
And that is exactly what I texted Matt when he sent me the picture of it, Monica. I said the warm glow of electric sex.
And you know what? The best part of the story was my wife actually liked it.
Really?
It was
Nice.
it was an ode. What do they call that? Like an ode, or I don't remember what the word is, but it was basically paying respect to the movie. She liked it. So
an ode, a tribute. Yeah. Well, why wouldn't she like it?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about the movie. Remember how the wife hates it so much?
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, it's the 1940s. I mean, yeah. Bad Santa is tier 1. Bad Santa. Look, that's what I was about to get to. The interaction between Billy Bob Thornton and the little boy in that movie. Just I can think about them driving in the car, and he goes, "God damn it! Did somebody drop you on your head? How could they drop me onto my own head? No, not onto your own. Are you effing with me?" And just the.
I agree,
There's so
Kyle.
much great stuff in that movie. I love the mom from Gilmore Girls. The Santa. There's a lot of great parts in that movie.
Alan said, "You've never seen Trading Places. My God, how sheltered of a life do you live?"
Not very, but I've never seen that movie.
I love this from Monica Fragile.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it must be
major
Italian.
award. It was a major award, Monica. I had to put it up.
They could have been a bowling alley.
Oh man,
And I've actually had it where on Christmas Eve I had to.
So many quotes we can do from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, I actually had Christmas. I can't remember where. Maybe about 20 years ago, I was going somewhere and the people said they were cooking, and they didn't cook. So we actually got Chinese food, and I said, "This is like great because I love."
Jack the Rose with bells of Rory, rah 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 rah.
we got a Krampus mention.
They bring the goose out and they chop the head off, and it's a fantastic movie. And that's another. Some people hate A Christmas Story, which I do not. Hey, I'll tell you an interesting take on A Christmas Story, in my opinion. And we're going to do all this Sunday night. Tune in for the Christmas special now that we've done it twice already. But as a kid, when I would watch A Christmas Story, I thought the old man was mean. As a kid, when I would watch that, I would think the old man was mean. As an adult, he's not mean at all. He's just a stressed dad. He's got a good sense of humor. And then at the end of the movie, something you don't even, as a kid, you kind of overlook. The whole time you don't even realize he's paying attention that Ralphie wants this BB gun. Ralphie's asked his mom, he's asked Santa, but he didn't ask his dad, and the dad gets it for him. And just little subtle things like that make that movie great. I think the people that don't like that movie, besides if they're just tired of it, I could get that. The people that don't like that movie don't get that movie. They don't get the subtle nuances of it.
Yeah, Monica says typical dad crashes out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, Scott Farkas is really great.
Robert, Eddie Murphy's first movie was 48 Hours. I'm a big Eddie Murphy fan, so that was the second or third movie. Second, I think, but the first was 48 Hours with Nick Nolte.
Scott Farkas is one of the great movie villains of all time, and you know, I remember I saw that movie in the theater.
I did too, Matt.
Yeah, cool. I saw it with my entire my mother, my dad, my brother, and when Scott Farkas got his ass handed to him, we were jumping up and down.
When Ralphie beats the crap out of him, and Ralphie, your mother, because he's cussing like crazy.
My neighborhood in New Jersey, where I grew up, we had 10 Scott Farkases. So, you know, we.
Which one were you, Matt?
I was Ralphie. I was Ralphie.
Were you really? Okay.
I did put it on a Scott Farkas in the neighborhood one time.
Yeah, that movie. I saw that. You know when you saw a great movie is when you can remember like who you saw the movie with, what movie theater, you know, those kind of things. When you see a crappy movie, you don't always remember that you saw it, and you certainly don't remember what movie theater and who you saw it with.
Anybody wants to do themselves a favor, this is kind of interesting. Go on YouTube. I guess it's still up there. You can find the Siskel and Ebert review of A Christmas Story. And Siskel and Ebert did not always get everything right, but they did A Christmas Story. They said, one of them, I don't remember if it was Gene Siskel or Robert Ebert, says in that review, he says, I got a feeling nobody's going to see this movie, and then everybody's going to end up seeing this movie. He says that in the friggin' review. Pretty close to an exact quote. And I mean, that's he how do you get that right like that? That's like Holton in the bowl game last year.
Right. No doubt. Monica.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Monica. Yes, one of the best Christmas movies ever. Hysterical. The slapstick. Classic Chevy Chase slapstick. Great one-liners. Cousin Eddie.
Is Rusty
Aunt Bethany maybe makes that damn movie. Is Rusty still in the Navy? And you know, just
how many times have you guys? Be honest. How many times have you watched the movie Christmas Vacation? I gotta be over under 50.
At least once or twice a year, Matt, since the movie came out. Yeah.
God, all right. So from beginning to end, like unedited, maybe the 10. Catching it on TNT or AMC or TBS, probably 225.
Wow.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you know, you turn on TNT or AMC or TBS, whatever channel it happens to be on that year, and they show it repeatedly, and so you catch bits and pieces of it. You know, the only bad part about catching it on cable television or broadcast television is, you know, a lot of the good lines are edited out, like you know, like when Clark has the rant about you know, there's a lot of stuff that's edited out of those. Like, you know, I never knew for years that in the original Vacation movie, Beverly D'Angelo showed her boobs.
You did?
Yes. If you watch it, not on TBS or TNT, watch it somewhere. The original version, not edited. Yes, she does in the shower.
You're talking Christmas Vacation. We're not talking
the original Vacation.
All right.
They go cross country.
Yeah, when you would still want to see Beverly D'Angelo's boobs. We're talking early 80s.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, would you want to see them now?
I'm not commenting on the way. I think she's got to be, 70 years old?
Exactly.
I mean,
she was starting to get... starting to hit middle age in Christmas Vacation, but in the early 80s, in the original Vacation, they were still standing up nicely.
Hopefully,
my wife just walked in the room, so there's not going to be any comment from me right now.
Oh, well, because she doesn't know you like boobs.
Oh boy. So hey, I think we should probably, considering the fact, JR, right, that we have the Christmas extravaganza next week. Maybe we should, or Sunday. Maybe we shouldn't talk. We need to save some material here.
Oh yeah, we are. We want to make everybody do their homework, and everybody needs to watch Ernest Saves Christmas. And you're going to say yes, you liked it, or no, and we're going to take a poll.
And I will say this to Matt and JR. Okay, two things about Ernest Saves Christmas. One, you got to keep in mind I watched it as a kid, so there's a huge nostalgia factor for me. With Ernest Saves Christmas. Two, I would advise you as adults, if neither one of you watched it as a kid, have some sort of substance, your preference, whether it be alcohol or something else, and sit back and enjoy the laughs.
All right, I saw Ernest Goes to Camp at the Galaxy Theater downtown Williamston when it came out. So
Ernest Goes to Camp's very good. It's probably my second favorite Ernest movie.
yeah, I don't have anything against Ernest. I'm just curious what Matt's going to say about it. So, do you guys want to?
I'll give you a full evaluation, and I hope that some of the people who listen tonight and also on last night.
Wait,
I hope that some other people will watch it too. And
Matt, what I will tell you to really notice in that movie is when Ernest plays his characters, when he plays the governor's assistant to get into the prison to break Santa out. And then when he plays
you're ruining it, Kyle. This is a spoiler.
I'm not ruining you anything. I'm not ruining anything.
Now I know that he's. Go ahead.
When he plays the snake handler, when he plays the old fat lady, those are some of the best parts of the movie to me.
Watch the Pine State commercial. Yeah, Vern, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Pine State. He did a lot of commercials. Pine State.
Hardee's. Didn't he do Hardee's commercials back then?
He did Hardee's. He did Mellow Yellow commercials. That was what I remember.
Wow. I'd forgotten all about that. Do you guys want to wrap it up? And then we're going to be back on Wednesday night.
I have a question, Dave.
Okay.
Hey, are we scheduled for 8:00 on Wednesday still?
Oh, God.
Okay.
What are we
well, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late because the Pirates, the basketball game's at 7. I'm definitely watching that. So, or maybe I can watch it
Wednesday if we got a basketball game.
That's what I'm thinking because we just had a good show tonight, and we got. We have to watch Ernest Saves Christmas, so we don't have a lot of time to be doing podcasts on Wednesday, do we? I don't know. I'll do it if you all want to, but I'm going to be. I'm definitely going to watch the game first.
Yeah, I'm fine with skipping it. We did an emergency podcast tonight to get good numbers. I'll say this, unless Dave totally disagrees, unless there's some more major breaking news, which is entirely possible between now and Wednesday, let's just reconvene on Sunday. And if there's a reason to do a podcast on Wednesday, if we have more guys hit the portal, or maybe we've hired an OC, then we'll reconvene on Wednesday.
There you go. Good call, Kyle. I think there is going to be an OC hire too. I think it's imminent. It's got to happen soon, and it's probably going to happen in the next 48 hours. So we'll see.
Do you know something, JR? Do you have a source?
My only source is what I read on 24/7 with Stephen Igo. He seems to think that, and he's pretty. He's got a pretty good, touch on the pulse.
I've heard that we have somebody. Basically, it's a done deal, and an announcement will maybe be made within the next 48 to 72 hours. And I'll go ahead and leak the name if y'all want me to. Justin, I ain't got to stay tuned. I'll go ahead and leak the name. It is Steve Logan.
Oh, wow! I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Steve Logan. Yeah, there you go, guys.
Very nice.
Well, Matt, your head coach is back. There you go.
Very nice. How about that?
Offensive coordinator Steve Logan returning on one knee with a towel. On one knee with a towel.
I don't think Coach Logan would like. I have a feeling. I'm speculating, but I don't think he would be a big fan of the portal era.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Well, we're gonna find out.
All right, guys. What do you?
Hey, let's just hope when we talk again next, we don't have any more portal.
Justin, stay tuned. Justin, what would you do? Well, then why are all these guys transferring? That kind of scares me.
All right.
Who are we hiring as our new OC that nobody wants?
Well, we don't know that, but we'll see. All right, guys, you want to get out of here?
All right.
We'll have fun, and in the meantime, we'll be with you very soon. In the meantime, guys, it's been great. Don't forget Sunday night. Definitely, we have our Sunday night show in the Christmas special, bowl special combination on Sunday night around 8:30. And we'll see you then, and maybe even sooner than that if there's any breaking news at once. Thanks for watching our transfer portal. Should I stay or should I go show here on the Sports Objective. Good night, everybody. And as always, go Pirates.
You're watching the Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.